Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Jaybird here, and welcome back to another episode of Black Ops 3 Zombies Ideas. Today's episode is going to be about grief mode. Now, a lot of these ideas are just a bunch of random small changes, but I think if they were all made and they were all put into game together, it would make for a perfect grief mode. Now, I have these all in the list written down. They're not in any particular order. So let's get started. If the round restarts, you should get 2 extra grenades and claymores as if it were a new round. This is because when the round restarts, it's kind of like starting a new round over, and whenever there's a new round, you always get 2 grenades and claymores. So I think if the round restarts in Grief, when everyone dies, you should get 2 extra grenades and claymores as if it were a new round. Okay, next thing. No monkey bombs, Gersches, Thundergun, Crossbow, VR11, or Ray Gun Mark II. Basically, no weapons that are really overpowered or really just like weird, like the VR11. I also mentioned the Black Ops 1 weapons just in case for Black Ops 3 zombies. They actually do bring back the original Black Ops 1 maps, and they happen to be in Grief mode. They should not have things like the Thundergun and Gersches and the Crossbow because you can upgrade it into monkey bombs. I don't think anything like the monkey bomb should be in Grief. We already have the meat power-up, which is like the monkey bomb as a power-up, which is perfectly fine, but we don't need monkey bombs in Grief. That kind of ruins it. It makes revives really too easy. That's one of the main reasons why I hate monkey bombs in Grief on the maps that we have them in. Because it's just like when anyone downs, all they have to do is throw a monkey and they get an easy revive, which I don't think should be the case in Grief. Grief should be difficult. So anything that makes the game less challenging should be removed from Grief. So the next thing is actually a pretty interesting idea. Grenades, flopper flops, and cherry reloads should deal 25% damage to the enemies so that you actually have a way to down the enemies. Now, I don't think that shooting enemies with bullets and knifing them, that shouldn't do no damage. That should stay how it is. But I think things that you can't really do all the time, or you have a limited amount of, like grenades, you only get 4 grenades and it takes 4 grenades to kill someone with this idea. So I think it's perfectly balanced. You have to get all 4 of your grenades to hit someone. And also claymores should deal 50% damage to enemies, so if you have 2 claymores, you could place both of them around a corner, and if an enemy goes past there, they are dead. And the next thing is that, well, actually flopper, let me say, Flopper should protect you from the grenades and claymores and flopper flops, and then electric cherry should protect you from electric cherry reloads. I mentioned electric cherry because in case they were to make a new Grief map and it had electric cherry in it, you should be able to damage players by reloading near them with electric cherry. That'd be kind of cool. And also Juggernog shouldn't increase your health to any of these. These should all do the same amount of damage whether you have Jug or not. Juggernog should only affect how much damage zombies do towards you, not other players. So I feel that's best that Juggernog shouldn't affect you. And also to make this balanced, I think that shooting near an enemy's claymore or Betty should destroy it also if you throw a grenade near it. So that makes it so that it's not the only way to destroy them is by running through them and downing yourself. You actually have a way to counteract the claymores. And they should also remove knife lunging from Grief. I can't tell you how many times I've been trying to knife someone and get them into a horde of zombies, but then I end up lunging into the zombies and getting swarmed and died. That's really annoying and that shouldn't happen. So the easiest way to get rid of that is just to remove all of knife lunging in Grief mode. Why do we need knife lunging? It does no good. All it does is make the game more frustrating. So just remove knife lunging, please. And one thing is just kind of a logical thing, because when you upgrade your melee weapon, you're able to push people farther. You know, if you get the Galvan Knuckles or a Ballistic Knife on Burrow, you're able to knife people a lot further, and you can knife them when they're crouching too. But the thing I never understood was why, if you pack a punch your weapon, it doesn't really change how much you slow players down at all. So I think that if you have an upgraded weapon, you should be able to slow people down for slightly longer. So the next thing is that for every time you shoot or knife an enemy that is damaged, they have to be damaged already from a zombie or from one of your grenades or claymores, you should gain 10 points for every time you shoot or knife them when they are damaged. And then also there would also be a maximum amount of points you can get for that round, which would be the same amount as your rebuilding barriers maximum points each round. So each round it would reset and then go back to 0, and then you can gain up to your maximum amount of points. I added this in because it gives players who are new to the game an incentive to shoot or knife people. And also the next thing is for incentives to down people. If you down an enemy by griefing them, which the game would determine if you grief them if you had knifed or shot them within, let's say, 2 seconds of them going down, then the game will give you 5% of however many points they had. And if an enemy bleeds out, everyone on your team gets 10% of your own current points. And the next thing is, if all enemies are down, there should be a zombie counter on the screen telling you how many zombies are left till you win the game. Also, when all enemies are down, there should be a maximum amount of zombies you have to kill, because when you're in those really high rounds, like round 20 plus in Grief, if you're past that, you should only have to kill a maximum of 240 zombies, which is 10 hordes, because anything above that, it just becomes way too many zombies to kill. It's just like, you should have already won by then. So a maximum of 240 zombies after all the enemies have downed. And if all enemies quit, then the game should automatically end and you win by forfeit. There also shouldn't be any walking zombies, only runners and sprinters. This will make the first 4 rounds a lot faster. I can't tell you how many times I've been playing Grief in the first few rounds on public match, and it's just so slow and so boring because of the freaking walking zombies. So they just need to get rid of those walking zombies. Also, if you shoot or knife an enemy that is damaged, they should bleed instead of the butterfly effects or getting shocked on cell block. They should have like a bleeding effect so that you can tell if they're damaged or not. Weapons should also go away from the box twice as fast as normal. This is so that you can take players' weapons by throwing grenades at them easier, because it's actually pretty hard to do. You gotta time it. It's too hard to do as it is right now, because box weapons last in the box for 12 seconds. So it takes 4 perfectly timed grenades to even get a chance to taking their weapon, which I don't feel is balanced. You should have an easier chance of taking players' weapons. Also, if a map has EMP grenades and you throw them at an enemy that's downed, it should make them instantly bleed out. I think this is a good idea because it's a way to stop people from getting revives. So it doesn't down an enemy that's alive, but if there is an enemy down, it'll make them instantly bleed out. So I think it's pretty balanced. Also, you can get special grenades back from the box, even if you already have them, as long as you have used them all. So pretty much once you use all your special grenades, they'll get deleted from your inventory, and then you can get them again from the box. And also have a way to tell on the scoreboard whether a player is alive, downed, or bled out. They should just have a little symbol like a standing person who's alive, and then a person in last stand who's downed, and then like a skull if they're bled out, so that you can easily tell how many players are left just by looking at the scoreboard. In case you didn't see the pop-up message saying how many players are remaining, I think this would fix that issue. So the next thing, one of the biggest things, is actually to remove all power-ups except for Fire Sale, because Fire Sale affects both teams, so we'd leave the Fire Sale in. But every other power-up would be changed to Power Downs, which are basically negative versions of the power-ups we have. So Max Ammo would be changed into Clip Unload, which unloads all enemies' clips on their current weapon. Double Points would be changed to half points, which means that the enemies only earn half as many points as usual for 30 seconds. And Insta-Kill gets changed into Infinite Kill, which makes enemies do half damage to zombies for 30 seconds. Punishment Points takes 10% of all enemies' points. Death Walk makes players move at slower speed for 30 seconds. And then we obviously have the Meat power-up, which would stay pretty much the same as how it is. And then we have Fire Sale, which also makes not just the box, but also traps cost 10 points. So yeah, that's pretty much all of my ideas. I hope you guys enjoyed. And next episode, we are going to be talking about Grief game modes, new game modes for Grief. I have about 10 of them, and they're all pretty well designed, in my opinion. So yeah, we'll be talking about that in the next episode. Leave a like if you guys enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Peace!